Hey everyone, welcome back to Hit our ROX channel. In today's video, I'll be breaking down which jobs are getting buffs and which ones are getting nerfs. If you're playing on a new server, this is going to be especially helpful. You'll know which jobs to focus on or which ones to avoid. Let's dive right in. First, night job balance. The Fatal Blow skill. Before the update, casting Frenzy would reduce the target's physical defense by a percentage for 5 seconds with a chance to stun for 2 seconds. After the update, Frenzy now has a 30% chance to apply armor break for 5 seconds, while the 2-second stun remains. This shift focuses on debuffing armor, offering a more strategic approach. The next skill is Spear Stab. Before the update, dealing physical damage to enemies in a 2x4 area and knocking them back 3 meters. After the update, the attack area is changed to 4x2 meters, and instead of knocking enemies back, it now stuns them for 2 seconds. This adjustment offers more control with the stun, making it easier to follow up with other attacks. Now let's look at Double Blow. Before the update, when using a sword, each normal attack had a 20% chance increased by 1% for every 50 points of luck to deal additional damage that ignores defense. If the normal attack was a critical hit, the extra damage was also a crit. After the update, the bonus chance now scales with strength instead of luck, making the skill more strength-focused for physical damage dealers. Lastly, we have Dragon Breath Fire. Before the update, the Dragon's Fire dealt damage within a 4-meter range, with a chance to inflict burn, causing enemies to lose 2% of their max HP per second for 3 seconds. This didn't affect bosses, MVPs, or mini-bosses. After the update, the attack area has expanded to a 6-meter, 120-degree cone, making it more effective for hitting multiple enemies while keeping the burn effect the same. Second, Priest Job Balance. First, Signet. Before the update, it dealt non-elemental magical damage to enemies within a 4-meter radius, while reducing their physical and magical defense by 20 plus a percentage of intelligence for 5 seconds. After the update, the damage type is changed to Holy Magical Damage, but the radius and defense reduction remain the same. This shift makes the skill more effective against certain enemies, thanks to the Holy Element. Next, we have Lex Eterna. Before the update, it increased the damage of the next normal attack or active skill of a single ally by a percentage for 10 seconds, but it wouldn't work if the ally was more than 30 meters away. After the update, it now only boosts the next active skill of a designated ally for 10 seconds, with no range limitation mentioned. This makes the skill more focused and streamlined for specific abilities. Finally, we have Impositio Manus. Before the update, it boosted the physical attack of all allies by a percentage and changed their normal attack damage to holy damage for 15 seconds, but only if they were within 30 meters of the caster. After the update, it now enhances allies' physical attack and makes both their normal and skill damage ignore enemy defense for 15 seconds, keeping the range restriction the same. Now we have Holy Hammer. Before the update, it connected enemies within a 4-meter radius with Holy Light, dealing magical damage and slowing them by 50%. After 3 seconds, if enemies were still connected, they took more damage and were stunned. The skill couldn't be interrupted, and it ended early if no enemies were in range. After the update, it now pulls enemies toward the user, dealing damage every 0.5 seconds and slowing them by 50%. If enemies are still connected after 3 seconds, they take more damage and are stunned. The pull mechanic makes the skill more aggressive and tactical. Next, we have Angelus. Before the update, the skill increased the physical defense of all team members within 30 meters by a percentage, with an additional 1% for every 15 points of physical fitness for 10 seconds. After the update, it now increases physical defense by 1% for every 50 points of physical fitness, with a maximum boost of 400%, while keeping the same range and duration. This change reduces the frequency of the boost, but allows for a significantly higher cap on defense. Next is Angelus, also known as Angel's Barrier. Before the update, casting this skill increased the magic defense of all allies within 30 meters by a percentage, with an additional 1% for every 15 points of physical fitness. The effect was invalid beyond this range. After the update, when cast, it now increases magic defense by 1% for every 50 points of physical fitness, with a maximum boost of 400% for 10 seconds. The range restriction remains the same, but if the casting fails, it will not activate. This adjustment balances the scaling while allowing for a higher potential defense boost. Lastly, we have Holy Spirit Protection. Before the update, the skill provided protection from the Holy Spirit, increasing movement speed in combat by a percentage. When health dropped below 50%, trigger the Holy Spirit Protection state, healing a percentage of the damage taken for 6 seconds, with a cooldown of 20 per seconds between activations. After the update, it retains the same movement speed boost and healing effect, but now, if the user receives a fatal blow during the Holy Spirit Protection state, the effect will automatically activate only once. The cooldown for the Holy Spirit Protection state is extended to 40 seconds. This change adds a layer of survivability during critical moments. Next is Napalm Vulcan. Before the update, it attacked the target 5 times, dealing ghost magical damage with a chance to deal double damage and inflict curse, which reduced the target's physical attack by 25% and movement speed by 50% for 10 seconds. After the update, it still attacks 5 times with a chance for double damage, but now curse reduces max HP by 15% and healing effects by 50% for 6 seconds. Now we have Intense Telekinesis. Before the update, it harmonized psychic power, giving a chance to gain a ghost enhancement for 6 seconds after casting a psychic skill. After the update, casting a psychic skill now has a chance to grant 1 layer of strong psychic transmission, reducing fixed casting time by 0.2 seconds, boosting ghost enhancement, and reducing SP consumption by 5%. This effect lasts for 6 seconds and can stack up to 6 layers. Next is White Barrier. Before the update, it created a barrier that reduced final damage from all sources except psychic damage by a percentage for 4 seconds. After the update, the barrier now changes the user's armor attribute to psychic, granting immunity to all damage types except psychic damage for 5 seconds. This update makes the barrier much more defensive, offering complete protection from non-psychic attacks. Lastly, we have Intense Telekinesis. Before the update, petrified targets would be unpetrified instantly, take earth damage, and be cursed, reducing their attack speed, haste, and taking 2% true damage for 6 seconds. After the update, unpetrified targets now take earth damage based on their HP and the user's attack power. The curse reduces their max HP by 25% and weakens healing for 6 seconds. So, what do you all think about these job balance updates? Let me know in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe for more updates. Happy gaming, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.